Hello and welcome to the 20th day of our mini-series, 20th of February 2021. We're on lockdown 3 and we're looking at the 20th study of Feuillard's set of 60, which means we're a third of the way through. This study is in B-flat major, nice and optimistic. It's called a study for dotted notes, and what we mean by that is a dotted quaver with a semiquaver. So that dotted rhythm of really, 3/4 on one note and a quarter only on the short note. And there are 3 portions to this particular study, as there are in most of them in the book. And in each of those sections we have a slightly different bow solution. So the very first one, the theme if you like, is the middle of the bow all separate. It says middle. I think actually probably around balance point is a fairly good place to catch the control. And the control is to make sure it doesn't turn into a triplet, because if you're not careful it'll sound like this. Which is actually 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Your short note in that solution was on the third of the beat, not a quarter. So you really have to work very hard to get a snap between the semiquaver into the following dotted quaver. So we have this. 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It's quite hard to say and play, but you can hear da da 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So when you first look at this study, I'm afraid you're going to have to think in that way. You may need to slow it down to really feel it and understand it. Now, before I look at the other 2 variations on the bowing here, it is actually quite an interesting point about this solution. The most obvious one you might think would be to do as we are doing, down, up, down, up, down. However, this rhythm, which is very commonly found in Schubert and Mendelssohn, early 19th century music, commonly performers will actually execute it the other way around, starting with the up, because it's easier, to catch a very, very clipped semiquaver going down, up, down, up, down, up, instead of up, down, up, down. On the up, down, which we are dealing with here in this study, this little finger is the one that propels the up. And in that sort of Schubert-Mendelssohn kind of solution that is so commonly employed, it's the down that does the semiquaver. And you can see that, the reaction with the hand, down, up, where this first finger pinches the down, da-da, da-da, da-da. It's actually a much stronger, much more comfortable solution for our anatomy. But we're not going to do that here. We have to push against things that might feel uncomfortable. Psychologically it feels more comfortable to go down, up, down, but physically it's not as easy as the other way up, and we will persevere with that. But you might consider that first third of the study played the other direction. Now, the other 2 variations in this study. At bar 9 we have the first variation, and this is now looking at that same rhythm but at the extremities of the bow. So we have a full bow to get to the point. Then at the point you're going to do that dotted rhythm. So this time we are doing the Schubert-Mendelssohn version, if you like. So the little finger is going to push on the up for the dotted quaver. Then we've got down for semiquaver. Sorry. So you are getting an opportunity to try that upside down bowing, if you like. And probably ideal at the point. It's extremely difficult to get that control and power and to make it sound something equivalent to what we're doing at the heel is a real challenge. And I think of all the 3 sections in this study, that one's the hardest. The final variation from bar 17 is very similar. And you may think, well, it's surely just as hard or harder. The first beat has a little semiquaver on in a slur. But in actual fact, by having that extra semiquaver preempting the second beat, note means you're actually slightly more prepared for what happens next. The thing to remember for this variation is to get through that whole bow on the dotted quaver so that you're already at the point for the rest of the bow stroke. Watch that in regular speed. So you get the idea that you're already practically at the other end when you put in that final semiquaver in the same stroke direction. That's nearly everything we need to consider, and trying to keep that 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 rhythm all the way through can be quite tiring. So be prepared for concentration at its top best. In terms of the left hand, it is fairly straightforward: B flat major arpeggios and little tiny scaly shapes. There are a couple of interesting points, however. So in bar 6 we have on the same note we're going to swap to a different location so that we're ready for the high F there. And the same thing happens in bar 14. But when those notes come in the second variation in bar 22, we're going to stay put, because there is no requirement to preempt here, because the two short notes are going to remain here and we have two short notes here. I'll show you what I mean. Because the semiquaver to the B flat is occurring between the two same notes, it would be absolutely pointless to do that. So we're not doing that. Stay put for that one. Everything else is as written, fairly straightforward. So here it is. There it is. Have a go. You could try it at a steadier speed than that, perhaps. It says allegro. I didn't mention the tempo marking. Maybe a moderato might give you more time to really get the grip, just to kind of finally just go over that idea in the first variation. Might be more useful to really get the feel of it there. And that raised upper arm will be my final tip. Enjoy.